Sometimes the most basic of videos is what escapes someone's mind. Talking about this right here. This is just a regular RC tire and wheel. I got this one specifically for what it can do. It's got the switchable hex on the inside. It's got that MX43 look, but in a much smaller package. So the cool part about this is obviously this. So this is kind of a video saying that these are probably great tires, except for the fact that you gotta glue them. So how do you go ahead and glue a tire? Or how about this one? How does Guy go ahead and glue a tire? So anyways, in this episode of RC Guy Garage, I'm literally just going to show you how I prep a tire's surface, both the rim and the tire itself, and another like little bonus, which we talk about the vent hole that's on the inside of the rim as opposed to venting the tire itself. Let's get into this. Let's see, what does it take, or what's Guy's way of gluing, very simply, a tire to a rim. A box of tires are right there. I've already done this one because I wanted to make sure that it actually worked the way it intended. What I noticed was it seems like it was a little odd, the tire, the sidewall, just because this is such a meat. The tire, the sidewall seemingly kind of wanted to pop out a little bit. And that also brings in whether you use tire bands or whatever. You can use elastic bands, or to this one right here, I didn't use a damn thing but glue, and I let it sit. And if you look at this thing is glued absolutely perfect all the way around. So that's what it should look like. And yes, I did give it full 24 hours to cure. That's the part that's kind of rough, is sometimes giving it enough time to cure, and that's where you can come into the issue. So this like graphic lettering here, it's not right. You can see how tires kind of like slopes down. It looks like, you know, truck is correct, monster even slopes down, and then when you get to the MX28, this is kind of like not placed, but who cares? This thing's going to be going 100 miles an hour anyway, so you're not even going to see these letters. That's kind of like just a thing that's off at a distance. Oh, hey, cool. It's got white lettering. So, and I appreciate that. I thought that was kind of cool. Who knows? Maybe the reason why they do it is so that you have the choice of a black wall, which you have sometimes that choice when you buy your tires. You can buy tires that have the white wall, and on the inside, it'll have the black wall. So what you do is you'd switch it. So if you wanted whites out, you got whites out. If you wanted black out, you got black out with whites in. So, yeah, enough about the whites. For this particular setup, I'm going to go ahead and use SKYRC Ultra Cure tire glue. I would recommend using a specific tire glue for that. This is a medium thin, which has a 5 to a 10 second cure rate that's on this glue. And this is 3/4 of an ounce. So you can get this through SKYRC. This glue is actually made by Bob Smith Industries, and SKYRC now is working with them. I do believe that this sticker right here peels off, which probably reveals Bob Smith. Oh, no, it doesn't. Look at that. So Bob Smith actually did this specifically for SKYRC. So I saw that. I just thought that this was like an overlay sticker. So, yeah. So Bob Smith and Cow Industries, this is where I got the glue from, was from cowrc.com. You still need to let glue set, but it does save 5 to 10 second cure time or whatever. The other thing you're going to need is some type of alcohol. So I have rubbing alcohol in this bottle right here. We use this for our countertops and for our glass top stove. So after we've cleaned things, we use this to get any residual stuff off. The tire itself and the rim just might have some type of a, might have something that'll prevent the glue from properly adhering to the plastic. So in between the glue and the plastic, you got to have a clean surface so that the glue can sit in there and set up. Paper towels. Paper towels are kind of like clean the glue off your fingers, but that's also what the alcohol is for. Paper towels are always going to be your friend. If some of the glue kind of gets, along the edge of the tire and I don't want to see it, I'll already have one of these paper towels prepped with a little bit of the alcohol on it so that it will help clean it up. The alcohol actually might take off this writing, so you want to be careful if you've got writing. I'm not sure if that's what it's going to do, but I was careful enough when I did this that I really didn't need the paper towel to clean up any issues. So you look at the inside of the rim, you can see that. Looks absolutely beautiful. The other thing you might need is a clear or a clean surface. I'm going to use this paper towel.
Hey guy, this is God speaking. What the hell are you smoking? Or did you put something in your good stuff?
Number one, fits the tire absolutely perfect. And number two, it'll keep the surface kind of like, actually there's three reasons. It'll keep the surface itself clean and free of glue. And also it gives a clean surface for this tire to sit on when I'm working it. Now when I do this, obviously I'll be popping out the rim away from the tire and the foam itself. Tire and the foam will stay together. I just need to make sure that if I want the white letters out, that it's on this face of the tire once I put things back together after I've cleaned the surface of both the inside of the tire and the technical outside of the rim, which is technically, I guess, like the inside, but it's not. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here's an unmolested tire. This one is not glued, you can tell, just by the way the bead rolls off. So I'm going to push the rim out just with my fingers. I'm going to go ahead and fold that back in. Now when I do this, I don't want to saturate anything. That's where the paper towel comes in. I'll spray the paper towel down. I'll be able to clean this edge of the rim as well as this edge. So this would be like the inner edge. This is the outer edge of both the inside portion of the rim, technically. You can see there's like something right there. See right there? See how like there's a weirdness right there? So we'll see if the alcohol will clean off whatever that weirdness is. There's a little bit right there. And then we'll be able to see if anything came off on the towel itself. Same thing with the tire. We'll spray the alcohol on the paper towel, and then we'll rub the inside and we'll see what we get. Now I'm just using a 1/4 piece. So that's the selector size. Folded it in half and just kind of ripped it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice little spray like that. I'm going to go ahead and clean just the inside of that portion of the tire. Go to the other side, do the same thing. Don't do this outside when it's windy. So just like that. So I don't really see anything on the paper towel. Do the same thing with the rim. Really just want to kind of clean that portion right there. So not really seeing anything visible coming off, so maybe these will really clean already. So there we go. And then you would kind of like just let these air dry. It won't take long. Looking at this, it does look as though whatever that stuff was did kind of come off, I think. That might be the molding process. So I'm going to see if I can clean that off. See if that's something that cleans off. So whatever was there, it's still kind of there. At least I know that the rim is now prepped. So keeping in mind the orientation, got the outside of the rim. I've got the white letters on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and just press this through. go to the inside. Now I'm going to pull up on the tire to get it over the lip, because there was a lip that this tire needs to now go over and then settle down onto the rim. So you heard that little pop. Okay, now I'm going to go to the inside and I'm going to just kind of massaginate the tire back into place on the rim. Here we go. Now I'm just pressing on the sidewall, and what that's doing is, remember the edge that was on the rim itself? What that's doing is it's settling the tire into that location. So looking at it, looks like it's good. It feels good. I'm gonna go all the way around. Now some people like to use these tips. Yes, you could definitely use these tips. They're not really reusable. I mean, you could probably get, you know, a couple of tires out of one of the tips. But what I came across with these tires was the fact that because the tire is so meaty, it needed this big, nice tip to get in between the rim and the tire itself. And I'll show you how I did that. I'm going to do the backside first. I'm going to go ahead and just take my alcohol thing here. And I'm just going to clean this tip so that there's no like pieces of glue that potentially cause an issue.
I'm sure you've heard the saying before.
Looks like we're good there. And all I'm going to do is put this tip in between the rim and the tire and bury it like that. And I'm just going to go, of course, it's because I'm on camera, dude. So I'm going to go like that, and I'm just going to go all the way around, just like this. And I'm going to do it a couple of times. And I'm not squeezing the bottle. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just going around the rim and then pull it out. Then I just want to go ahead and settle that. I'm going to just check real quick to make sure that the glue went all the way around, and which obviously it did because it dragged it all the way around. Settle that into place, and what I want to do is just push it all the way around and make sure it settles onto that that section of the rim, that little stopper part of the rim. So let's see if I'm there. So go ahead and just kind of press it down. Now I'll take the alcohol, give it a little bit of spray. I'm just going to very quickly just wipe, just like this. What that's going to do is get any of the excess super glue. We're not pushing it in. Get some of the excess super glue out. It's also going to potentially turn it white. So I don't really like that. But alright. So I think we're settled there. I'm going to go ahead and sit that down like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Dive this in and go around a few times. So I'm going to dive it in, and I'm just going to go around a couple of times. It's funny how when you go to do something on camera, you mess up. So I just want to make sure that the glue is all the way around. And make sure I don't have any dry spots. I do have a dry spot right there. So that should be good enough right there. I want to make sure I settle that tire into that rim. Do a little bit of a cleanup. Not much. And again, just make sure that that tire is seated down onto that bead. That's where placing something on this probably would help. Backside is already in place. So front side is wanting to slip up a little bit. So I just want to, again, just go all the way around. Just make sure it stays seated. I might have put just a little bit too much glue.
Nah, really, guy? Good thing you admitted it.
On this particular one. Because the glue also makes it, the glue will make it, it almost acts like a lubricant. So I can see it's already settling. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Right here is a little loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of push down on that. And look at that. It's holding. Make my way around. See how it's looking? It's looking good. So that was a good showing. That it doesn't always go as planned. So because I made a little bit of a mess, I'm looking at the camera while I'm trying to do this. I should have just focused on doing this as the project, because when you stray from that and you're looking at a camera, you can kind of mess up. So I shouldn't have done that. But this tire looks like the bead is seated where it should be. Just want to make sure we are. And it's looking good. So I think we're good. Yeah, here we go. I'm happy with that, except for the white. The white is because of the alcohol. So in a way that kind of shows a little bit of a demonstration. This one I didn't use any alcohol to really clean anything up. This one I used a little bit of alcohol, and what it did is it turned it white. And I think that's part of like the curing process. So I'm gonna take another paper towel. I'm gonna see if I can just clean up a little bit of that white right now off the tire. I'm not gonna get it into the seam. That's not the point. I just wanted to see if I could get some of that white off. Did get a little bit of it off. The white is now just in the seam and a little bit on the tire. It's just the way that the glue cured, just on the outside. So it's probably something that maybe you keep in mind if you don't want the white walls. Be careful with the stuff here. So anyways, that's how I do it. It's really I feel like it's a very simple thing to do. You might even be able to use something a little bit stronger, like maybe nail polish or an enamel reducer would probably get rid of that. But the problem is that you don't want that sinking into the rubber and then fouling up the glue process. Because if you look at this side of the tire, this side of the tire actually came out mint. It's just the inside I must have screwed up with just kind of too much glue. I know I did, because I'm doing a video. Dude, this one came out mint. This is the way like I like it to be. This one got screwed up. So yeah. So anyways, this is RC Guy Garage, and this was just gluing up a set of tires for some RC stuff that's going to be happening. Reason why I went with these is because they had the replaceable hexes. So 12, 14, and the size of this tire, and looking like an MX-43. It's mint, dude. So anyways, I'll be out ripping it up. What about you? Realized I forgot to show you what the elastic bands can be for. Did I show you the elastic bands? Well, they were here. So the use of the elastic bands, what it does is it applies a pressure this way. So when you do that, I've got two elastic bands going across there. And what it does is it just allows you to be able to potentially press the rim into place, or press the tire into the rim, and then the compression of the edge will kind of keep it there. And that's what these bands did. So you can see, let's see if I can make this look better. So you can see, when you look all the way around, the tire is, I don't want to say perfect, but it's damn good. So, yeah. That's kind of what it should look like. And I didn't use any alcohol, and I only went around, I think, 3 times instead of like the 5 times that I went around last time. So you can see I am putting elastic bands around this one as well. And I'm just going to make sure, see, these bands really aren't strong enough, but I just want to make sure that it is applying the pressure that I need to seat this into place. So I could feel it. It actually just seated right there. You feel like it seats down and in. So this is actually feeling pretty good. So again, getting those tire bands is probably the way to go, but if you don't have the tire bands, just use regular elastic bands. Just applies a little bit of pressure on this. The interesting part is I didn't need it with these tires. And it might have just been, maybe I didn't use as much glue, but I kind of used about the same amount of glue on this one. And this is pretty much seating where it needs to be. So I'm just going to work this, kind of keep it down into place so that it stays seated into that little flat section of the rim. And then that's it. So just so that you're aware, I am still just very slightly working it around. It's funny, this one is a little bit more difficult. Like I said, the first one that I did was absolutely mint. Maybe it was the temperature of the day. There is also an accelerator that you can press on here, but the thing about that is it's like almost like an Instacure, and I don't really want to use the accelerator. And the accelerator also creates like a weird, whiteness. So I wonder if it's like a form of alcohol. It's like a steroid infused alcohol. So it's looking good. So basically the only thing I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing just the very inside of it flex the glue. So yeah, this one's all set. And then the back side, absolutely perfect. Happy with that. A little bit of paper towel stuff right there, just from wiping the rim. But that inside looks beautiful, and the outside is pretty much there as well. You can see where the sheen is. It's kind of what you're looking at. You just want like a little bit of a bead of glue kind of going all the way around. So yeah, that looks good. Let's play a little game of do you see what I see? Looks like we got a couple of XMAXXs right there, guy. Looks like they added a pole so that I don't crash into the red and green XMAXX that they got over there. I'm going to show you the difference between how the vehicles maybe handle. What do you see right there? Fat guy in a little coat. Gonna turn these rides on. That one. That one. So I wonder if this is going to be a problem.
Right here. Not here or here so much, but right here.
Unfortunately, apparently.
For the love of God, why?
This is just B-roll. Because I'm just burning this pack down.